Hello. So today we are talking about the third security control according to CIS critical security control. So in this series, we are talking about the practical relevant security control that one can immediately apply in his or her cyberspace to improve the security posture of our cyber of his cyber space. So let's go dig about it. So today we are talking about audit log management. What is audit log management as a security control? This is all about collection, reviewing, and retaining of audit logs. And audit logs that we are concerned here are those logs that give us information or give us details about events that help us to detect or to understand or to recover from attack. This is the essence of log that we are concerned about as a security control in this series or in CIS critical security control, the control number 3. And why do we need this control now in our environment? This is very critical. Having audit log management is very critical because these audit logs, they'll help you to detect malicious activity quickly. Someone can be able to penetrate your network without even you knowing. As we said before, there is no network, there is no cyberspace that is 100 secured. So if you have a proper mechanism for you to detect what is happening in your given environment through these audit logs, then you are in a better position for you to quickly detect malicious activity. And of course, if you detect them, you will be able to act on them as soon as possible before that particular attack has caused tremendous effect or has caused huge loss in your given organization. And of course, this is also important because sometimes audit logs are the only evidence of occurrence of cyber attacks. You may try to secure your given environment as much as possible, but sometimes you get a very sophisticated attack that does not leave any trace elsewhere. So if you have proper implemented audit log management as a security control, that will be the only evidence that someone breached your network, because someone may hack you, may store data, but no one may detect it from user side, from the administrator side. But with proper logs, you may see that there is something that has happened as a security attack in your given environment. And of course, if you don't have this security control in your given cyberspace, it means if someone attacks you, you may not be able to detect him at all or to detect him on time. So that attack can stay in your given your given cyberspace for a very long time. And the longer it stays, the longer it can cause a huge amount of loss, or even that attack can traverse to go to other levels of your network. Someone can just hack your user, and because you have not detected that this thing has happened, then he may use the compromised machine of your user now to go to the server or to go to other sensitive area that which he or she could not manage to do if you could have detected that thing from the area time and act upon it the time that you have seen that thing has happened. And as we said before, there is no system that is 100 secure. So one of the very critical measure, as far as I concerned in my own experience, in ensuring that you are safe, is having a mechanism for you to detect this malicious activity in time. Because you may be hacked, but if you may be able to detect that you are hacked the moment that you are hacked, no one may even know that that hacking has happened in your organization. But first and foremost, and the very most important thing, you may stop it from it going to do more and more damage. And the good thing is, you detecting that there is a hacking happening in your given organization, even if you are not able to stop it, it means that you can call other people, you may call other agents, other companies, other institutions that you know they have the capabilities to dig further about that hacking. But if you do not know even you have been hacked, then you are in a very, very, very worst condition. So timely detection of this hacking through proper audit log management helps you to do timely mitigation and prevent future attack by studying the behavior of those particular attacks and improving your security measures accordingly. So how are we going to realize this control in our given environment? The common approach There are commercial tools, there are open source tools, and some people they are doing it manual, like they are going in given server, login, viewing logs in a particular server. Yeah, some people they are doing that. And of course, the proper ways or the common way of storing these audit logs is are in spreadsheets and in database. Those are the common ways of storing audit. So let us talk about the nitty-gritty of it, the safeguards. These are the very crucial things that you have to consider, or you have to make sure they exist in your control of audit log management. The first one is the one that we've been talking from the beginning, that you need to have process, the process that are formally endorsed and formal authorized for the collection, reviewing, and retention of log. How are logs going to be collected? Are they going to be collected in their given host? Are they going to be centralized? How are they going to be reviewed, manual or automatic? What tools are you going to use to doing the reviews? And what are alerts that you are going to propagate from those reviews? And retention, about how long are you going to keep the logs before you take them out for, I mean, to take them out for archive. So all these things, all these process have to be defined and have to be in place. And one of the very crucial things that you have to centralize your audit logs. For you to have a holistic view of what is happening during the attack, or even just before attack, even when you think like there is a possibility of attack, is when you have centralized your log. You have one-stop center where you can correlate, you can view, you can analyze logs from the perimeter side to host it, to server, to network switches, and everything. So centralization is very, very, very important during, during implementation of this audit log management. Another thing to consider, you need to standardize and synchronize your times, because remember, you will have devices, machines that have their own time set. Then some of the devices may be even in a different geographical location. For those who have distributed offices from different countries, from different continents, but even in the same country, in the same continent, in the same building, normally time setting for one PC may not be exactly the same with another PC. So you need to have a mechanism to have a time synchronization, so that all your devices, they access time from one point, from one server. And this is important so that when you are doing reference, when you correlate logs, you have a clear picture of what happened first on what devices and what happened next in another devices. Without this time synchronization, your logs may have discrepancies. Even if the record may be there, but you may not be able to have a proper timeline of exactly what happened during the attack or what happened during your given analysis. So those are the some things that you need to have. Another things, you need to collect detailed audit logs. And among information that you are not supposed to leave is the source of the event, the date, the username, the user that has been used to propagate the given event, the timestamp, the source address, and the destination address. You may include other information, but you can see this information. They directly helps you to triangulate, to correlate, and to harmonize those information in a meaningful way as far as cybersecurity is concerned. So you may correct different kind of log, from DNS query audit logs to command line audit logs. And of course, this concerns about the shell scripts or the power, those command lines that are executed in Office, in Microsoft Windows operating system. All those can be logged for your further reviews next time whenever you have issues of concern about particular event. And of course, this is one of the very, 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 very important, because in my experience, you may find people have done all these other safeguard, but they are missing this one: conducting regular log review. Because if you have logs which have evidence of attacks or malicious activity, but you are not reviewing them, they are as good as nothing. So as much as you have invested in all of these other measures, also you have to make sure you have automated ways of reviewing this work, and of course the manual way of reviewing these logs. Because if you are doing only manuals, also that is another problem, because an attack may happen but you are not yet to review the logs, so you may detect the attacks sometimes later, then the attack may have already done huge damage. But you have automated the log review. This is an advantage to you. And of course, manual review also has to be there, because sometimes you have an hypothesis like there is something that is not okay in a given node or in a given asset. So you can have also the manual mechanism of reviewing your log. All in all, you need to have a proper ways of regularly log review. As I said, if you have done everything else but you are not doing this, your log are as good as nothing. So as we said from the beginning of the series, we are going to show the practical side of all these controls. And we promise that when we reach this third control is when we are going to starting the practical orientation of what we have covered so far. And in our series, we are going to use Elastic Stack for realizing all this control. And if you have viewed our previous video, we have justified why we need this stack for this, because first it's on open source, but also it is reliable, it has powerful features. And we're going to see as we proceed with this series, by only this one solution we can implement at least 7 CIS critical security control. So you can see by just mastering this one tool, you have it helps you to realize so much control that you need to implement in your given environment. So after this control, the next presentation is going to be the practical side, as we promised. So we have covered now the third control, but if you have noted now, we've started with the first one, the inventory of hardware. We came to the second, the inventory of software, and then we jumped to the eighth, audit log management, because we have realized that by experience, and of course only these three controls, they can just be implemented and someone can start now to have a robust cyber security program. So that's why we have jumped and skipped the list to come to this eight control, and now we are going straight to the practical side so that you can start implementing, because some people may not have them at all. So by just implementing these three controls, you may start to having a strong cybersecurity program in your given environment. So please don't forget to subscribe so that you may always know what is happening in this channel. And don't forget to chat with us, to ask us questions through WhatsApp. We will be always available to help you whenever you have a practical problem about cybersecurity. We don't entertain the theoretical stuffs because they don't help us that much. But of course, without theories, you cannot have a sound practical. But if you have a practical problem, then we can discuss, we can talk, and we can help each other. So thank you. That's it for today. Until next time, where we are going to start the practical implementation of these three controls we have covered so far. Have a nice day.